As for the mythical good people of the state of Georgia, like the Irish leprechaun, it's not leprechaun, it's leprechaun. It's not Moscow, it's Moscow. It's not Iran, it's Iran. It's not Iraq, it's Iraq. So, the mythical good people of the state of Georgia, like the Irish leprechaun, do they really exist? Or are they just a celestial entity invisible to the naked human eye? that takes me back to the story of the great emperor whose ass was bare but he was wearing beautiful invisible clothes. Welcome to the US of A. Unlimited supply of assholes. That's what comes to mind. Repeatedly. And then the Georgia executive and what they truly are. 300 and more years of repugnance and no sign of change for the better on the horizon. The South will rise again. You see it repeatedly. Around the corner, here, there, and everywhere. If only you could read. Viagra is available. Cialis is available. Take it. South will go north. It will rise up. I'm not going to say no more because a lot of vulgarity is coming to the fore. And I shall refrain and restrain myself because I've had enough of your crap. Especially the whites who have put themselves on a throne and the blacks who, at the back of being a hereditary victim, they think they can defecate and urinate on you. And I've come across the Jews, especially in the Department of Law and other faculties. A lot of good people, but one or two who are riding roughshod on the back of Holocaust. Shame on you. Shame on you. What follows will validate and vindicate all the above and call for much more to be said. A public investigation, an open investigation of all and sundry. Even better, I want them all to sue me in an open court for the allegations I have made and am about to make. And you know what? I'm still out there walking, driving, meeting with people. I have not closed doors on anybody. I'm still talking with and speaking with people. Whereas the executive has run down the rat hole and become inaccessible. Each name and entity whose mention will follow have the legal right to recourse and hold me accountable in a court of law. And I'm very aware of the said fact. And based upon that fact, I will continue with what I intended to put on this website. What I intended for the media to put out, they refused to. So please come after me. I beseech you. I beg of you. The superior white kings and the shiny, oily, black kings of your own castle. Please, I beseech you, come sue me, starting with Judge Jackson, then Kimberly Adams, and many more names to follow. Why the podcast on my own? Because no one else would dare question me or join me, inclusive of practitioners of law, journalism, educators, or anyone else I dare to invite. And I have invited plenty, including graduates of West Point who openly told me about the abuses, about the incompetence, about the filth they had to put up with, and that yet they come out as if they are graduates of some supreme academy. So alas, it's only me, and whosoever dare listen to me. fiat justitia, ruit caelum. My ass. No colorful wording or neon lights can hide the complete disdain for common decency and law and order you display and practice. I am talking to the Supreme Court of the state of Georgia. Let justice be done though heavens fall. God help us. The pedophiles are still looking over child care. The proof follows in black and white on griftersnet.com to show the egregious disregards for all things decent by the so-called legal and or justice system of the United States of America, especially the state of Georgia. That is the state bar. That is the gubernatorial office. That is the state capitol. That is the Department of Law. And much more. I've met with the former attorneys general who served for the past 20-25 years. I had an open tete-a-tete with them, which means having an open conversation. Nobody told me I'm wrong, thus far. Not academics, not practitioners of law. Only in private. They will not say that out in open. On 30th of October, I was waiting patiently in the Peachtree City Elementary School car park alongside other parents. You will enjoy this. If you were watching this, because this is America, especially the South. I had just collected my 5-year-old son from Crabapple Lane Elementary School, and we were enjoying having some fun when slowly traffic started to move. This is the car park. Riley's playing fields, Peachtree City Elementary School. What was strange was that the vehicle, instead of moving forward, was reversing towards me. I am referring to the SUV that was parked in front of me. Sometimes I do intelligent things. Sometimes. Because I have begun to lose faith in people and their decency. So I bought a dash cam. And I bought a dash cam in my truck, in my wife's car. If I could, I'll put it on the bicycle, behind my ass and everywhere else. Because you're not safe anywhere. So let's get back to the car park and the elementary school. This SUV is reversing towards me. 8 feet, 7 feet, 6 feet. Oh shit, I put my hand on the truck horn and kept it there because the SUV was still coming. The driver had no intention of applying brakes, and then the inevitable happened. Boom, thud. The SUV stopped and my son inquired as to why did the car hit us. As I stepped out of my truck, a grey-haired woman casually stepped out of the SUV and in a terse voice demanded to know why I had hit her. Yes, she was a Karen. And being someone who had worked with drug dependency for the past 40 years, her pupils were dilated from here to heaven come. And she was there to collect her grandchildren. So you can make up your own deductions and your own stories. Before she could utter more wisdom, I told her that she is the one who backed into me. Her speech, the way she stood, the way she acted, everything was evidence to the woman not being fit to drive. Whether it was self-medicated or prescribed, I have no idea. "Oh well," she said with a flare, waved her hand, "no harm done," and drove off, after calling me an asshole. Yes, as she was getting into the car, she says, "You're only an asshole." So, when we reached the door at the school, and she had to stop to pick up her grandchildren, I walked around and told her that I shall be contacting the police. She had nowhere to run because she still had to wait at the school exit door for collecting children, and I took my opportunity to inform her that I heard what she had said, and she was abusive. I also told her that the evidence will show what she had said and what she had done. The onboard computer and the dash cam will provide evidence of the said fact. She drove off as if she were a racing driver, and I proceeded to call the police and told them I was 5 minutes away from school because I was rather upset. So City Hall, which is more or less across the road, we go there, we park the truck, and we walk around the park. So that's where I was. 5 minutes away from school at the City Hall car park. Within 10 minutes, a police car was there. I could see them driving around. Even though I had given them directions as to where I was parked, the driver was going around the library twice over, so I ran. And then the policewoman, she saw me waving. And she came down. She was polite. Showed no interest in what had occurred, except for narrating verbatim, which is stated in police policy. If the incident happens on private property, police have no jurisdiction, so you can and you have the right to take civil action. Repeated over and again. I repeatedly told her the job I do. I repeatedly told her that the woman was under the influence. She was not interested. I also told her I'm married to an attorney, a highly competent one, so there's no need to repeatedly tell me about law or what the insurance company does or doesn't do. I had to inform her that the insurance company stipulates that whenever involved in an accident, it has to be reported to the police without exceptions. It is mandatory. Eventually, she offered to file a police report and informed me that the female driver had stated verbatim what I had just told her. And that was it. Despite repeatedly telling her that my expertise as a mental health rehab specialist, as a double and triple diagnosis specialist, that the driver appeared to be under the influence. She chose to ignore anything and everything I said and offered me a copy of the police report, which contained nothing except the names and addresses of both parties and the vehicles we were driving. That's it. "15 minutes, and that was it. I thought racist abuse was a crime. I thought being under the influence is a crime. So what is it? You have to be under the influence and shoot somebody? I don't know. I really don't know what to say right now. All my life, I have tried to follow the letter of law. What I thought of and what I had heard of and what I had aspired to. United States of America negates all that I was taught about being decent and about doing the right thing. So why the spiel and the story to follow? Well, what is to follow will show the same pattern of behaviors repeatedly all the way to the US Supreme Court with incompetence, with arrogance, and could not care less attitude for all of that because they are all untouchable. Yes, folks, they, inverted commas, are untouchable. That's my experience, and for that I will provide you with proof.